Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and in this video we're going to talk about how to communicate in the workplace. We're going to go over some of the do's and don'ts of communication. So to better communicate with your coworkers, you must master the following topics: body language, conversation, conflict resolution, email and instant messaging, and phone etiquette. So have you ever talked to someone and they just seemed a bit off? Like it was just hard to put your finger on it, but they just seemed a bit different, right? They said all the right things. They sounded smart. They might have been saying something interesting, but just something felt weird about the way they were carrying themselves. Well, you might have been picking up on their body language. Body language is such an important part of communicating your intent and what you and the meaning behind your words. And so if your body language is off, or worse, if it's different from the words you're saying, then it can make that interaction seem very, very strange. Okay? Body language includes your posture, your expression on your face, eye contact, and personal space. So here's how to improve your body language. First, don't slouch, okay? Try to stand up as straight as possible. It seems more professional. Don't cross your arms when you're talking to someone. This indicates displeasure, right? I'm not very happy with you. It's generally a negative sign. Now, some people do naturally just cross their arms as they're standing there, but usually other parts of their body language, gets rid of the negative connotation of the crossed arms. Don't put your hands in your pockets. It's too casual of a move for a professional environment. Keep your hands out of your pockets, especially if you're giving some kind of presentation or you're talking to your boss. Don't avoid eye contact, all right? If you're constantly avoiding eye contact and not looking where you're supposed to look, then it throws the person off and it makes them feel like you're not paying attention. Don't stare at them for too long either. Don't just like bore your eyes right into their eyes, right? That gets creepy and off-putting. Don't stand too close to them. 4 feet is a good barrier. Now that we're, as of the recording of this video, we're in the middle of a global pandemic and we're trying to socially distance. So 6 feet is the standard now. But, once everyone gets back to, normalcy, you still want to maintain a good 4 feet away from the person you're talking to. There are some people that are very close talkers and it's very off-putting, right? Make sure you give people their personal space. So here are some do's. Stand straight with your shoulders back. It exudes confidence. It shows that you know what you're talking about. Do shake hands upon greeting, except if we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Right now, I think the acceptable thing is to touch elbows. I think that's the only acceptable thing. Do smile. My dog wants to be let out. She's an old puppy, and so if I don't, do what she says right away, she starts getting angry. Okay, so do smile. Now, I know that, right now we're all wearing masks and stuff, so it's hard to tell if you're smiling, but you can see a smile in the eyes even if your face is covered. Do nod along with the conversation, okay? Show them that you are paying attention. If they say something you agree with, okay, nod along. Give them some kind of indication that you're listening. Do look at the person in the eye for about 4 to 5 seconds at a time. Look in their eyes. Maybe look down at their hands as they're talking with their hands. Look back up at their eyes. You don't have to stare at them for too long, but you do want to maintain some kind of eye contact for about 4 to 5 seconds. This is a big one. Face the person you're talking to. Don't ever talk to somebody with your back to them. And if someone's talking to you, turn toward them. Okay, that's really important. It shows that you're listening and it shows that you respect them enough to turn toward them while they're speaking and give them your full attention. Conversation. This is something that's it seems really natural, and for some people it is, but for others, this is just really difficult, just to have a productive conversation with a coworker. being able to do this, it's critical in business and in really any workplace. Conversations are like they're an active exchange of information. It shouldn't be a one-sided monologue like this is, where I'm just talking at you and there's not a lot of interaction. Conversations, both of you should be sharing information back and forth. So here are some steps that you can take to increase your conversational skills. Focus on the person who's talking. This is especially important if you're in a group of people. Focus on the person who's doing the talking. Think about what they are saying instead of what you want to say when it's your turn. A lot of people do this where they're so nervous in the conversation, or they have something they really want to say, and so they just keep running over the words in their head, and they're not really listening to what the person is saying, okay? Listen to the people you're talking to. Really think about what they're saying. Ask relevant questions and try your best not to interrupt. Let someone finish their thought. Some people have a habit where someone will start a sentence, maybe pause a little bit in the middle of the sentence, and then someone else will jump in and try to finish it for them. That's very rude, and it can be very annoying to some people. Let them finish their thought, okay? Because you may assume they're going one way when they're actually going another. Just let them finish their thought. Now, it's important to ask relevant questions. So if they say something, don't completely go off tangent. Don't move the conversation in a place where it wasn't intended to go. Stay on topic and ask relevant questions. That shows that you're paying attention to what they're saying. Slow down. If you're a fast talker like me, then your listener might lose you and become disengaged. Part of having a good conversation is allowing the person you're talking to actually process what you're saying and think about it without, you don't want to talk at them a million miles per hour and give them a ton of information, because they might not be able to process all that very quickly. And it might be hard to hear what someone's saying if they're talking very fast. Number 4, get to the point. If there is a point to this conversation, get to it as quickly as possible. A little bit of small talk at the beginning of a conversation is totally fine. Hey, how are you doing? How's the wife? How are the kids? That kind of stuff. But then get to the point. What are you talking to me for? Because the person you're talking to might be a busy person. They might have something more important on their mind right now. Number 5. If you make a mistake in a conversation, if you interrupt somebody, or if you, maybe they were talking and you just kind of, your mind slipped for a second, just admit it. Just say, I hit my microphone. See, that's a mistake, and I'm admitting it right now. I hit my microphone. Just admit it. Say, hey, I'm sorry. I really didn't hear what you just said. Please, can you repeat yourself? I really want to, I want to hear what you said. My mind was wandering a bit. People will respect you more if you admit whenever you made a mistake. But if you are so afraid of doing that you just try to pretend like you heard them and you smile and, you don't know what you're agreeing to, right? So you want to make sure that you communicate only what you want to communicate, not what you think they want to hear, right? Okay. Resolving conflict. Now, you're going to have conflict. Maybe you made an inappropriate joke that you shouldn't have made. Some of us do this more than others. When it happens, when someone gets angry with you, the sooner the conflict is resolved, the better it is for everyone involved. Okay, your goal, once there's a conflict, your goal should be in resolving that as quickly as possible. So, first step, breathe. Some of us are so afraid of anyone being mad at us that we start freaking out and trying to fix the problem right away, and just breathe, okay? And if you're the one angry, also breathe, okay? Chances are you're angry. Don't be. Calm yourself down before you try to calm someone else down. It's very important that you don't have two angry people trying to, yelling at each other in the middle of an office space. Number 2, listen. Give the other person your undivided attention and truly listen to their point of view. Do not respond until they've finished talking. Let them say their piece, even if they're saying things about you that you don't like. Sometimes people just need to vent. Let them vent. Let them say it. Do not get emotional. Don't interrupt them. And don't try to defend yourself at this point either. Let them say their piece and then move on to the next step. Step 3, acknowledge their feelings and apologize for your mistakes. Now, if someone is angry at you, she wants back in again. If someone is angry at you and you don't feel like it's your fault, you don't feel like they should be angry at you, well, it's not going to help the situation if you tell them, you shouldn't be mad at me. Why are you mad at me? Why are you yelling at me? They're just angry, right? Listen to them. Recognize that their feelings are valid, even if you don't think they are. Make them feel like they're being heard, okay? Apologize if it is your mistake, okay? If you did make a mistake, apologize. Focus on the facts in the situation, not the emotions, okay? Don't ever tell someone who's angry to just calm down. Don't ever do it. That is like an atom bomb thrown in the middle of a hurricane. Don't do it. Don't tell an angry person to calm down, especially because it usually sounds like this. Sir, I need you to calm down right now. Those words right there, that's the quickest way to make an angry person even angrier. Let's switch gears here a bit and talk about email and instant messaging. So we talked a little bit about this in our professional writing week when we were writing a business letter. But this is a little bit more about communicating quickly with one another as coworkers. So email and instant messaging and text messaging, these are all things that we've been doing in the work environment for quite a while. These things can definitely save you time, but if you use them incorrectly, they can have some pretty negative consequences. So there are 2 basic rules you want to follow with electronic messages. 1, just because you can send it doesn't mean you should send it. Electronic messages should be brief and to the point. Do not give them your entire life story, right? Don't write an entire novel and then send it to them. Keep it brief, keep it to the point, keep it succinct, tell them exactly what you want them to know, and then move on. And number 2, you must use professional writing techniques. Yes, even with text messages. Yes, even in instant messaging applications. Yes, even in emails. Spell words properly. Capitalize your words. Punctuate. This is a professional workplace, and this is professional communication. If you do not do this, your coworkers will start to respect you less. That's the facts. That's just how things work. If I receive an email from a coworker and it has misspellings and they didn't capitalize their words properly or use punctuation, I can't help it. Okay, I try to stop myself and have empathy and understand people are busy and sometimes they don't have time to proofread their emails. But I can't help but thinking, you're a college-educated adult. Why are you writing to me like you are a 4th grader? This is not okay. That judgment already seeps in before I can mentally stop it. And that's how most people react to this stuff. Do your best to just cultivate a style where you're spelling words properly, you're using proper punctuation and grammar, okay? This is important. Telephone. So if you're using the phone, if you're talking with someone on the phone, you need to adopt a specific style that is kind of, you can hear it, right? I don't know if you've ever heard your mom or dad pick up a work phone call. Depending on their workplace, it may be different, but their tone changes. The words they use change. It's important that you adopt that kind of philosophy, I guess you should say. You don't want to talk on the phone with colleagues at work the same way you talk on the phone with friends of yours, right? So, number one, don't forget the greeting. Hello, hi, hey, how are you doing? A pleasant greeting starts the conversation off on a good note, and smile. Even though you're on the phone, smiling still conveys the same kind of feeling to the person on the other end of the line. They can hear your smile, right? Number two, keep a natural and sincere tone of voice. Don't adopt a very professional, over-the-top kind of... No, don't. Just talk in your normal, natural voice. Just pronounce your words properly. Enunciate a bit more. Do not talk too fast, okay? Some people, when they get nervous, they talk very fast. Don't talk too fast. Breathe and definitely slow down on the phone, okay? And if you can't understand someone, say, hey, I'm sorry, could you say that again, please? I didn't understand. You can always just kind of blame it on the phone, blame it on the technology. It is not rude to ask someone to repeat themselves on the phone. We all understand that sometimes call quality isn't the best. Sometimes, you're going through, something happens on your end that makes it hard to hear, whatever. So it's not rude. Ask someone to repeat themselves if you don't hear them. That also, by the way, communicates to them that you think what they are saying is important and you want to hear it. So, the general rule of professional communication is to pretend that you like everyone, okay? Everyone you work with is someone that you absolutely love to be around, even if that's not the case, okay? Look at me in my eyeballs right now. I am telling you, there are people I work with that I do not like as people. I do not respect them. I wouldn't hang out with them after work. I do not like them, Sam I am. But I still treat them with respect. I still communicate with them as if they deserve my respect. I still treat them as if I like them, okay? I would be mortified if those people ever thought I didn't like them, because a part of my professional style is I try to make sure that everyone has a positive experience when they're in my place of business, whether it's you, the students, or the other teachers or the administrators or whomever. I want to make sure everyone, when they're around me, has a positive experience. And it just shows respect, right? You may not like the people you work with, but they deserve a certain amount of respect because you're all working together toward a common goal. Whatever that job is, that's a goal that you're working on together, okay? Treat people with respect and kindness and pretend like you like everybody. Also, don't take things personally. I know in the workplace, it's very hard not to take it personally if someone says something nasty about you behind your back. Don't take it personally. It's work. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, okay? Go home, relax, all right? Don't bring that stuff home with you. Those people exist there. Don't bring it outside of work, all right? Cool. In the next lesson, I'm going to teach you how to give an oral presentation. Once you're done with that, then you can move on to creating your oral presentation, and you are so close to being done with this class for this term. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson. Peace.